Hello, my name is Dr. Ali Lyn Tan. I am an associate professor and consultant rheumatologist at Leeds in the UK. Today, I'm going to talk about how to compose the perfect tweet. In order to know how to compose the perfect tweet, firstly, we need to know why do we want to compose the perfect tweet. There are two main reasons for this. The first is that one of the aims is to create as much interaction as possible in order to benefit the audience as much as possible. Twitter is an excellent form of communication on social media. Although limited to only 280 characters per tweet, I'm going to show you how versatile Twitter can be in order to maximize the potential of your tweet. So for this session, the objectives are to demystify tweeting, and we're going to talk about the anatomy of a tweet, and then I'm going to give you some top tips in tweeting the perfect tweet. We're going to start off with what's a tweet in terms of defining the anatomy of it. Here's a tweet I wrote recently. So I'm going to break down the components of the tweet for you. The first is the profile picture or the avatar. Then there's the tweeter's name and the person's username or handle, which can be different from the tweeter's name. Next tweet is the date that the tweet was tweeted. The words beneath it is the text that composed of the tweet, which is constrained to 280 characters. Within this tweet, I have added some emojis. Emojis are great at highlighting certain things in the tweet, as well as making the tweet look more interesting. So when you open up the tweet box, you can see the symbol of a smiley face. And if you click on that, it will produce a list of emojis that you can add to your tweet. Within this tweet, you have the hashtag sign in front of it, which can be bring up a list of tweets that can hashtag the benefit of using hashtag here is an example of hashtag at a conference. So I tweeted that I was about to present a poster at EULAR 2018 to alert the conference attendees regarding my poster. The benefit of using a hashtag here at the conference as well is that it could be analyzed in a systematic way to show what's popular at the conference. So here is the paper that shows that the three main areas of interest within the conference are based on patient, disease, and anything new. You can also see from this tweet that there's a picture of me being vaccinated. You can add a picture to any of your tweets, and within the tweet box, there is an icon at the bottom that you can click on to add your picture. Or if you prefer to add in an animated picture, there is the GIF icon as well. Adding an image or a video shows evidence that it increases the engagement of your tweet. So here's a study that showed how much more attention you get if you add an image to your tweet. It increases the impressions to your tweet by 7.7-fold. It increases the number of retweets you get by 8.4-fold. And if you have a link to the article, it increases it to almost 3-fold in terms of the visits to the article. So here's an example of a tweet I created. Now you can see within the tweet that there are some hashtags on some medical terms and a lot of concepts within it. However, the moment I added an image to the tweet, it suddenly becomes more interesting, more visually captivating, as well as explaining the text within the tweet more clearly. So back to this original tweet, you can see at the bottom there are some icons, one of which is the reply icon, whereby you can reply to the tweet with your own comments. Later on, I'm going to show you an interesting use of the reply function to increase the visibility of your tweet. Next to it is the retweet symbol. This is when, if you see an interesting tweet from somebody else and you would like it to appear on your timeline and to share it to your followers, you simply retweet it. So here is a tweet I saw that I wanted to retweet so that I can share it with my followers. I click on the retweet button and it will either simply appear identical to what is shown here, or you can add further comments to the retweet. In addition, in this tweet, I've also added a link which connects it to an article that is related to the tweet. Adding a link to a tweet can extend the quality of your tweet. Here is another example of a tweet that contains a link. This is a paper that I had published recently that I wanted to share with my followers, the full paper. So I added this link to the paper. In addition, this tweet introduces another new function called the mention function. And here I have linked this tweet to the journal that this paper has been published. And I have also linked the tweet to the department I work at, which is where the work has been done, so that both parties are alerted to this tweet. And this can sometimes promote further retweets to help disseminate your tweet further. Here is another example where I used the mention function. This is a paper that I tweeted, and I have linked it to the first author by using the @mention function here. So this alerts the first author to my tweet, who may then retweet this tweet. I've also added an image of the paper that consists of the abstract to make the tweet more informative. And I've also added relevant hashtags to the topic. There is a link so that if followers would like to read more about the paper, they can click on the link for more information. And finally, if you look at the bottom of the tweet, there are some names and some other Twitter handles that are included. Let me explain to you what those names under the image mean. So when you click on the icon at the bottom of your tweet box to add an image, you will see that there is a function to tag people onto the photo. By tagging people onto the photo, these people will get informed regarding your tweet and is likely to increase the retweet of your tweet. Back to the original tweet. So at the bottom of the tweet is another function called the like function, which clearly means that you like the tweet or that you agree or concur with the content of the tweet. But there is more to this like function. If you look on your profile page, along the tab is the like tab, whereby within it is all the tweets that you have liked. So it's actually a very useful function as a library of tweets that you have agreed to or you like. Next to the like function is an interesting function whereby when you click it, gives you three options: either to send the tweet via a direct message, or to add the tweet to bookmarks, or simply to copy the link to the tweet. On the corner of the tweet are three little dots that, when you click, comes up with another list of functions. Within that is an interesting function called View Tweet Activity, which is exactly the same as the icon at the bottom of your tweet, which shows the tweet analytics. The tweet analytics is a very useful way of reflecting on how well your tweet has been doing. So for example, it will list a number of statistics, including the number of impressions you're getting from your tweet. It tells you how many likes you're getting, how your hashtags has been doing, how many retweets you're getting, and how many replies or interaction you're getting from your tweet. It is a very good way of learning from experience regarding how to tweet to engage your audience as much as possible. So remember I said that a tweet can only consist of 280 characters. And I said that I'm going to show you how versatile Twitter is so that you do not have to be constrained by those characters. So if you remember my original tweet, what I've created is that I have added what's called a thread to the original tweet. And this is how I did it. So at the bottom is the reply function that I have mentioned previously. If you click on the reply function to your own tweet, you can add another tweet, and you can add another and another tweet, and so on. Another way of creating a thread is that sometimes at the end of your tweet, you will see a button that suggests add another tweet. By creating a thread, it is a good way of telling a story without being limited by the 280 character tweet limit. Here is another example of a very good use of a thread. This is what's called a tweetorial, which is basically a long thread on the same topic. This particular tweet is all about gout. So the first tweet asks a question about gout, and the rest of the follow-up tweets are explanations regarding the projected answers, and finally this last tweet that explains the answers to the tweet. Another interesting function on Twitter is the ability to do a survey by means of doing a poll. So in the tweet box is an icon for you to click on that allows you to put up some options up to a maximum of 4 for your followers to select. And you can decide on the duration you want the poll to be open for. Here is the poll that I created, which asks if people use social media to promote their academic research, and if so, do they promote them on these various social media platforms? It is interesting to see that majority actually do use social media to promote their research. Finally, as part of composing the perfect tweet, particularly as healthcare professionals, we should be very mindful in terms of being extremely responsible for the tweets that we display. It is said that what happens on social media stays on Google forever. It is true that Twitter has a delete function so you can remove any tweet. Unfortunately, the print screen function and the screen capture function can be retweeted. Therefore, the moment the tweet is out there, there's a danger that it does stay on Google forever. There are now a number of guidelines out there on using social media responsibly, and I would urge you to refer to these guidelines carefully and to definitely think twice before you press the tweet button. Finally, to conclude on how to compose the perfect tweet, here are my further top tips. The first is to totally understand your motive for writing a tweet. This will allow you to tailor-make your tweet according to your aim, which is driven by the motive for your tweet. Be as engaging as you can, and this can be achieved by drawing attention to your tweet using some of the functions I have mentioned, which includes using hashtags, add mentions, emojis, insert some links, as well as including images or videos to your tweet. Aim to promote as much interaction as you can, for example, using polls. Be creative, using the reply function to create threads and tweetorials. Be very polite and be responsible in terms of what you tweet. And most importantly, enjoy. And I conclude this session with a quote from Susan Cooper, who is the English author of children's books, who says, "Engage, enlighten, encourage, and especially just be yourself on social media." Thank you.